The jungle's oppressive silence was broken only by the rhythmic crunch of boots on wet foliage as the SEAL team advanced. What began as a routine reconnaissance mission had spiraled into a nightmare. Cut off from command, their SOS signals vanished into static. With enemy forces closing in and hope fading, the team braced for the end, until a single shot from the darkness rewrote their fate. The SEALs had been operating in the dense, rain-soaked jungles of the Eastern Front for 48 hours, their mission, to locate a high-value target critical to ending the conflict. Lieutenant Commander Elias Vance, a veteran of 3 tours, led the 8-man squad with practiced calm, his eyes scanning the canopy for threats. The terrain was unforgiving. Vines snaked across the path, leeches clung to exposed skin, and the air reeked of decay. Hours earlier, a faulty intel report had sent them into a valley teeming with enemy patrols. Now, trapped in a clearing littered with broken branches and blood-stained leaves, their radios emitted only a harsh, unrelenting static. Vance barked, orders into his comms, his voice steady but urgent. "Bravo team, this is Echo 7 requesting immediate extraction. Over." No response. He tried again, adjusting frequencies, but the jamming was absolute. The enemy had anticipated their move, deploying signal disruptors to isolate them. Vance's knuckles whitened around his rifle as he crouched behind a moss-covered boulder, the weight of responsibility pressing down. 2 team members lay wounded, their breathing shallow. The rest huddled in the mud, ammunition dwindling, their faces streaked with sweat and grime. Every second stretched into an eternity. The enemy's torchlight flickered through the trees, and Vance knew they had minutes left. The jungle, once a backdrop for survival, had become a tomb. The ambush struck at dusk. A burst of automatic fire tore through the clearing, sending dirt and debris flying. Vance yelled, "Contact front!" as the team dove for cover. Bullets zipped past, snapping branches and kicking up plumes of earth. The enemy, clad in camouflage fatigues, advanced in disciplined waves, their voices sharp with victory. "They're pinned down," one shouted in broken English. Vance's heart pounded as he returned fire, his rounds forcing the attackers to take cover. But the SEALs were outgunned and outnumbered. The wounded needed medical aid, but medkits were empty. One by one, the team's weapons fell silent, magazines exhausted, no reserves left. The enemy closed to within 50 meters, their laughter echoing as they prepared to storm the position. Vance radioed one last time, his voice hoarse. "Any unit, this is Echo 7, urgently need air support. Over." Only static answered. He cursed under his breath, the reality sinking in. No one was coming. The jungle closed in, the enemy's footsteps growing louder. Then a faint crack split the air, a sound too precise to be gunfire. A bullet whizzed past Vance's ear, and the enemy soldier directly in front of him collapsed, a red bloom spreading across his chest. Confusion rippled through the attackers. Another shot, then another. Each hit with surgical precision, dropping enemy combatants one by one. The SEALs exchanged stunned glances. Who was shooting? The answer came in a hissed whisper. "Sniper. 2 miles out, left flank." The sniper, Sergeant Maya Cruz, had been embedded alone for 3 days, tasked with monitoring enemy movements along the border. Her position, a concealed vantage point atop a rocky ridge, offered a sweeping view of the valley below. When she'd first spotted the SEALs' desperate radio transmissions hours earlier, she'd known they were in trouble. But with no direct line to command, she'd stayed silent, waiting for an opportunity. As the ambush unfolded, Cruz adjusted her scope, the crosshairs steady despite the rain-slicked rifle. 2 miles. The distance was near impossible, even for her. The wind howled through the trees, shifting the trajectory by inches. She exhaled slowly, her training overriding doubt. The first shot was a test, a warning to the enemy. The second was lethal. Each bullet she fired was calculated, wind speed, elevation, even the humidity affecting bullet drop. The enemy scrambled for cover, their formation disintegrating as they realized they were under fire from an invisible threat. Cruz's rifle, a custom .338 Lapua, recoiled with each shot, the brass casing clattering to the ground. She counted 6 hits in 10 seconds. The enemy's momentum shattered. When the SEALs finally surged forward, guns blazing, crews provided suppressive fire, her shots forcing the remaining attackers to retreat. By the time Vance reached the ridge, the jungle was silent again, save for the distant echo of helicopters inbound. The extraction was swift. Medevac teams arrived within minutes, whisking the wounded to safety. Vance stood beside Cruz, his gratitude raw and unfiltered. "You saved us," he said, his voice rough with emotion. She nodded, her face unreadable beneath the grime. "Just doing the job." The debrief revealed the enemy's jamming had been so effective that no other unit had detected the SEALs' distress. Only Cruz, operating off-grid, had seen the ambush unfold. Command hailed her as a hero, but she dismissed the accolades. For her, it was about the mission and the unspoken code that no one gets left behind. Weeks later, the team gathered at a base in the capital, their wounds healed but the memory of the jungle still vivid. Vance raised a glass, the room falling quiet. "To the sniper who turned the tide," he said. No names were mentioned, but the respect in the room was palpable. The jungle had tested them, and in its darkest hour, one rifle had restored their faith in the brotherhood of arms. The story of Echo 7 became legend, a testament to resilience and the quiet heroes who operate in the shadows. In the end, it wasn't luck that saved them, but skill, precision, and the unwavering belief that even in the most isolated war zones, no team is ever truly alone.